Thanks for coming out tonight. First of all, I'd like to thank Larry Benson and his staff and for allowing us to do this here and for putting this on. And I do appreciate that. I appreciate you all coming out tonight, taking time out of your busy evenings to come out here and listen to me. And the next one I want to address is business development in Tracy. And this kind of goes hand in hand with developing tax revenue for things like EMS services. One of my biggest beefs for many years has been that the city does not market the city of Tracy the way that they should. They don't tell people we're here. They don't tell people about our events. They don't tell people about the things that we have going on here in Tracy. And I think the downtown area is probably a perfect example of that. We have a lot of businesses. We have a lot of services, that are available to people, not only within our community, but outside of our community. And when you think about the amount of traffic that goes up and down 11th Street every morning and every afternoon, people are driving through our city every day, and we don't tell them about our Bean Festival. We don't tell them about our wine strolls downtown. We don't tell them about the events that we have going on. We're missing out. Their money spends here just as well as ours does. And their tax dollars that are created from that are created just as well as the tax dollars are from our income too. So we need to be doing a better job about marketing the city. I'm not quite sure that thinking inside the triangle is the best approach to do it. I think that they kind of went a little too far on that one, but I realize that the city is trying to do something, but I think that we need to do more. Back in May, I went before the council and requested that they start putting banners up, like they do in Pleasanton and Livermore and places like that, to advertise the events that we have going on. When we have people driving up and down our roadways, and this is something that it started years ago when I was on the Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors. I used to ask all the time, well, we've got these events coming up, how come we don't have banners hanging up? Well, we have a signage ordinance here in Tracy, and we can't put those kinds of things up. Well, why not? In my opinion, if you have a problem, you need to find a solution to it. Don't just rely on the fact that we've always done it that way, or we haven't done it that way, so that's the way we're going to continue to do it. You need to be thinking forward and be thinking about what you're going to do to solve the problems. And I think we need a little more of that forward thinking in our city council and in our city government. We need to do a better job of marketing Tracy and telling people that we're here. And that not only helps the city as far as business development and tax revenues, but it helps the businesses. And when you have businesses doing well here in Tracy, it's going to attract more businesses. A lot of people blame the fact that we don't have Trader Joe's and Whole Foods and places like that in this community because we don't have the rooftops to support it. That's a small piece of the pie. Businesses like that come to towns like Tracy and the towns around us, yes, they're looking at having enough population to support their needs and to be able to survive in the community. But they also look at the stores around them. They look at the businesses that they're going to be anchoring off from. A good example is our mall out here. When you don't have a good anchor store in a mall, who's going to come there? Who's going to, they're not going to put a small business in there because there isn't a major attraction to bring people in. And that's what's happened over a period of time with our mall and actually with our outlets, is that the larger businesses, the businesses that attract people into our community have fallen off. So we don't have those people or those businesses here to help support the other businesses so that they can anchor off from those. So we need to do a better job about telling people about our services, about our businesses here in the community, not only to boost the businesses and their revenues, but to boost the sales tax revenue, and so that we can afford things like our emergency services without taxing people or adding additional taxes to it. The next thing is youth-based services here in the city. I think anybody in here could probably tell you, especially if you have kids or have had kids growing up here in Tracy, there is not a whole lot to do here in Tracy for kids. When we moved here 11 years ago from Fremont, my youngest daughter moved with us, and she was a senior over at West High School. And I remember her coming home every night and saying, you know what, there is nothing to do in this town. And of course, she was right. I wasn't out and about. I mean, I was commuting every day, and I wasn't thinking about the things that were here in Tracy for kids to do, because those weren't the things that I do, and those weren't the things that I was looking for. But she knew then there wasn't anything here in Tracy to really do. Well, she comes over here now to visit from the Bay Area, and she's in her early 30s now, and she says, you know what? There's still nothing here to do in Tracy, and it's true. We in the last 11 years that I've lived here, we haven't made any progress in that arena. We haven't done anything to really develop the city with services and with youth type activities. We have the Boys and Girls Club, which is mainly an organization designed for kids to do something after school, and that's present. But we don't have like a miniature golf course or something that exactly, a skating rink. Things where kids can go and spend an afternoon or spend an evening and be entertained. They're leaving the city, which when they leave the city, what goes with them? Their money, or mom and dad's money, and the tax dollars that could be generated here. So again, this is one of those areas that I think we're missing we're missing the mark on this. We need to start creating services and activities for our kids to do here in town and to have something to do. And it's long overdue. I know that we've talked a lot about the water park and some of the different sports parks that they want to put in, but we need to start looking at private industry somewhere. People that want to come in and put in a skating rink, or people that want to come in and put in a miniature golf course, or something that has some entertainment value for the youth in our community, but it's not something that we're going to have to purchase out of our pockets as a city or as a community. So I think that's something we definitely have to focus on and look at in the years to come.